Okay, so here we are, we've got the car up in the air now. You can see a little bit more of the very cool parts that we have got on the engine that are actually going to be on the proper engine when the engine's built and fitted to this car. See here, this is what we call a Dailey sump, made by Dailey in America. It's a full billet alloy sump. It's basically world renowned for making race car parts and especially sumps. So for us to be able to build an engine that's going to have in excess of 15 to 1600 horsepower, probably closer to 2000 horsepower, you know, this is the sort of stuff that you need to, I guess, not only make the engine function properly, but also so it lasts as well. It's a dry sump. You're not going to have an internal pump like you do in standard sumps, where you see on a standard engine you see a big section where there's a big drain plug and all the oil's housed in that section in the sump where there's a pickup inside. This is quite flat, and when we go around the back to have a look at, you'll be able to see that. This is the pump here on the side. It's designed into the billet sump itself, and that's where basically the oil is going to be scavenged out of there into the head unit, where all of the oil will be kept separate to the sump. So very cool system. You can see under here there's a little bit of tape. We don't want to scratch or damage anything, but we've got a few little issues that we're running into here, like the steering rack mounting, where you can see it's just touching on the bottom of the sump. So we're going to need to redesign this mount to make the mount flatter, be able to make the clearance we need for the engine to fit in where it is. We've got a couple of standard engine mounts in there at the moment, which if you come around the back here and have a look, you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about here. So you see some engine mounts up here. So there's one on the right, one on the left. We're probably going to make some custom engine mounts. These engine mounts are rubber mounted, so the engine can move. We're actually going to solid mount this engine so that the engine can't move. It's basically going to help stiffen and form be one of the car on the chassis rather than it moving around individually. So we're probably going to get rid of these. These are just in for the moment, just so that we can dummy fit the engine and see where everything's sitting. But they'll end up being a properly fabricated, custom-made engine mount on each side. Hence the reason why we'll be able to lift the engine up a little bit. We'll be able to fix the intake issue at the top here that we've got, that I showed you earlier on, where it's hitting, and get the engine sitting at the correct angle as well. So on the back here, we've got an amazing bit of kit from New Zealand, actually, called a HTT Precision gearbox. It's a 6-speed sequential gearbox. We've got a very cool billet shifter, which is also going to be designed and built into the center console of the car. But apart from that, you know, it's a gearbox that a lot of race guys use, a lot of drift guys use. It's very, very strong, and basically it's a piece of art. When you look at it, it's a beautiful bit of kit. It's almost criminal to have it underneath the car where you can't actually see it. So speaking about that, why don't we actually go into our sub-assembly room and have a look at the gearbox and the shifter so you can exactly see what I'm talking about.